Couple years down the road, you wake up late on a Saturday and you gave yourself a little more time than normal to sleep in. You get up around 10 o'clock, a little later than normal these days. But you got a big project ahead of you.
Yeah.
Today, you are going to clean out your garage. And it's been a long time coming. You haven't like really cleaned it out um, within the last year, which was kind of the last time you did a purge after you moved in. So you kind of like you had a bunch it took you a little while to unpack everything from the garage. You had a bunch of stuff that didn't really have a place in your new place anymore. And it's just kind of piled up and you're just ready to like go through it, put everything that you don't want on a table on Sunday morning and write free on a piece of paper and let whoever wants it take whatever they want and the rest of it's going in the trash next week.
Yeah.
So you're going through all these boxes, right? You got like a little fucking white folding table out front. You put like just like a couple of posters and artwork and stuff that just doesn't fit in your new place. You don't really have a spot for it to hang. It's just stuff you think you might have outgrown, just
Like
shit like
what?
that. There's one poster is like of it's Pamela Anderson at the beach with her fucking titties all covered in sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
They actually had to remove some of the sand in post because like the photographer was like more sand, and they were like really covering them up. And then somebody was like, "We'll just take care of it in post," So they removed like 70% of the sand on her breasts.
Okay.
And the when the poster came out, it caused a stir
Yeah, I bet.
because people like the first printings you could tell was like digitally altered to remove sand. And she got torn apart in the press, man. People were calling her Pamela Sanderson, you know, and they were there was she was all over the nightly news,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Fucking Ted Brokaw in the 90s, right? In other news, Pamela Sanderson, and he like
That's a good impression.
Ted Brokaw is fucking talking about her. I've just opened it up right now. First
It's
time.
good.
Well, point being, she's just got torn apart, and you bought it and you were like, it's a collector's item, because there weren't a lot of them around anymore, because a big print got those off the shelves of Spencer's all over America rather quickly.
Really? I feel like
But
that would.
you found one.
Okay.
Well, they just reshot is what they ultimately did.
Oh, they put more sand.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they went back. They had a new photographer come in and take the pretty much like the exact same shot minus all of the gratuitous sand. And really, that's the only thing that saved Pamela Anderson's career. We're being honest. People in
Really?
Hollywood were like, we don't want to work with this fucking fraud. Are you kidding me? But,
Yeah.
they reshot it. It went on to be like a top 10 selling poster of all time. But you have one of the originals. Just a thing like that. You're like, where am I going to put this poster of like Pamela Anderson, And I got to like explain it, and there's a whole story, So it's like stuff like that. You have a Creed poster that you had ironically for years. You just don't have a spot for it anymore, right?
Sure.
That gets swooped up immediately.
Yeah.
But you put all your shit out, and you some stuff you're just throwing out, right? Some stuff you're like nobody's gonna want this. This stuff needs to go. There's a box of old underwear with like holes in them, and you were just like for like rags or something, and you're like just get a box of rags if you need rags, just throw these old underwear out.
Sure.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
Stuff you're not gonna show to the public or whatever, right? And man, over the course of the weekend, you get rid of so much shit. You are like very proud of yourself to like let go of some of the things that you let go of, even though it's just taking up space physically somewhere near you, like
Okay.
just stuff you don't look at, stuff that like you just didn't need anymore this stage in your life. And when you get to that point with certain things, it does take like a little bit of like emotional labor to do. And you do have to like convince yourself that, yeah, it's okay to like get rid of stuff that you may have outgrown or stuff that just doesn't fit your life anymore. It's okay to do that. And so you're feeling really good on a personal level. You feel like charged up. You're like, yeah, you feel like you can take on the world. You can do anything, Like you conquered a little bit of a mental mountain over the weekend. You feel really good. And there was some stuff as you were going through it that you did want to keep, things that you were like, okay, this is something that is of core importance to me as something that I really can't part with, or I couldn't ever like get rid of, photo albums, right? There was a baseball glove that your dad gave to you that was signed by Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there was like the set of keys from your first car, right? Where you look at it and you're just think of like all the great times you and your friends had driving around. It's just one of those things that you're just like, I'm gonna hang on to this for my own reasons.
Yeah.
Things I don't want to get rid of. And you gave yourself some space for that kind of thing because you are acknowledging that, yeah, you're getting rid of a bunch of stuff, but there are things you are allowing yourself to keep. And so now that you've like kind of cleared out the garage, you've got all this room on your shelves and everything, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put away the things that I wanted to keep. And it's not a lot of things, maybe 4 or 5 boxes worth, and you're putting them on the shelf. You're kind of peeking in there. You're like writing a little summary of what's on the outside or whatever on the side of the box. And you don't even like get through it all the way. You're just like, oh man, I'm just fucking exhausted. You're like, I'll take care of this like later on. So
Yeah.
you have like something to do throughout the week. You're like, but I'm gonna take the rest of the night. I'm gonna have myself a nice meal. I'm gonna get really uncomfortably high. I'm gonna watch a movie and I'm gonna pass out. You know,
Very cool.
I'm just gonna. It's gonna be great. So that's what you do. You put on the Wedding Singer and you make some
Yeah.
spaghetti and meatballs. Yeah,
Okay.
and you sit in a fucking lazy boy in front of your big ass TV. You get real high and you just eat these spaghetti and meatballs, and then you pass out with the Wedding Singer on in the background.
A solid night.
It's a very solid night. You are awoken in the morning to the sound of a trash truck coming by your neighborhood. You hear it just you hear the bang as it slams your neighbor's trash can overhead, emptying the contents into the fucking cavernous shell on its back. You kind of like wake up, and your dog is licking your hand, right? It's covered in marinara. Not covered in, but there's definitely marinara on it. Your dog discovers it and just licks your fucking hand. You kind of like wake up, you pet your dog, you put your dish in the sink, you go back, and once the trash truck passes, you fall asleep again. You wake up at like, you know, 9 a.m. You make yourself some breakfast. You sit down, you just put on like YouTube. You got something playing in the background. You're doing a little bit of reading. You're gonna go outside. You're gonna finish putting away everything. You go out into your garage, and by God, you can't find the box with the glove inside of it. You don't know where you put it.
Dang.
It's not in here with the rest of the other ones, right? And you're looking around, you're scrambling, you don't see it. And then at the far end of the horseshoe, at Terrywood Glen. You see the trash truck pulling out onto the street, and your fucking heart sinks.
Yeah.
You know where it is, right? You are depressed.
Okay.
For the next few days, you are like very depressed,
Dang.
It's one of those things that you were not prepared to part with.
Motherfucker.
So you're bummed, right? You're pretty bummed. You're I'm not gonna say you're taking it out on people around you because that would imply that you're at least seeing other people, but you're definitely in a little bit of a depressed state. You feel bad, it was a thing that your dad gave to you. It was very significant. And it did hold value. Like it just checked all the boxes of like a thing that you would just hang on to.
And I'm like isolating myself now.
Well, you beat yourself up over it, for a lot of reasons. And it's just kind of like the physical manifestation of your dad. When you see it, your dad is there, right? Like when you've like faced tough questions in your life, sometimes you go into the box and you pulled out the glove. It's
Yeah.
just the thing that makes you feel like most in touch with your dad at any moment.
Okay.
It's just what it is. So yeah, it bums you out, you know. Uh and again, over the course of a couple days, like you're definitely like upset, you know. You're not taking phone calls, right? You're being short with your dog. Uh his name is Gregory. He's like a little hound dog. He's kind of got long ears, long squatty body, short legs. But man, he's faithful. He's been through a lot with you. So you guys he obviously like notices as well, he tries to like lick your hand, come up and give you a little kiss on the face, get you out of bed. You got to take him up, you got to take him out for walks.
Yeah.
He's kind of the thing that's like dragging you through this period of beating yourself up.
Man.
So at one point you have to like go to the store. You got to go to the store to like you've kind of like gone through all the food in your house. Like I got to at least go get groceries, right? You got to get dog food. Like, you shower, you put Gregory in the car. You guys you go to the grocery store. He's sitting in the cart, right? You're putting your food in there. You go down the dog food aisle. You always kind of like let him sniff and pick out like a bag of treats that he wants.
Yeah.
And he sniffs and sniffs and he picks out uh Lanalax jerky treats for your dog. It's a black bag with red lettering.
Oh man.
It says beef flavor. And you look down at Gregory and you go, "That's the one you want?" And he kind of like nods his head.
He nods his head.
You throw it in the bag. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you call it a nod. So you throw it in the bag, right? You go home, still kind of depressed. Put your groceries away, you make yourself dinner. You sit in your lazy boy, you get real stoned. You wake up in the middle of the night, you turn the TV off. You're like, I'm gonna go grab a snack. You grab a piece of beef jerky out of the cabinet. You eat it. You got a little bottle of water next to your chair. You go to bed. You wake up the next morning and you're on your back and you feel like your arms and legs are like straight up in the air.
What?
Yeah. You feel like your arms and legs are like straight up in the air.
Okay.
You kind of like roll over onto your side. You feel a couple of ears at the top of your head.
What?
You walk over to the window and you catch a reflection of yourself, and you are like a little Boston Terrier.
What?
Yeah, you're brown. You're brown with white spots on your chest. You got two big bug eyes. You're a weird looking dog.
I'm a dog.
Yeah, you like get out of your bed, you go into the kitchen to like look into like, look out like the window, and you see just your open cabinet with that bag of Lanalax dog treats open from the night before.
Yeah.
So you ate the dog jerky and you woke up the next day and you are a dog. You go outside, out into your backyard, right? Through your doggy door, just to like look around. You're like, what the fuck?
So I'm not a human dog hybrid. I'm a dog
No, you're a dog. You're
with the
like
mind of
a
a man.
yeah, you're like a 10 pound little French bulldog with the big old bug eyes on the side of your head.
Man, that is unexpected.
So you're kind of like walking in your backyard and you hear Gregory just howling, "Ho, ho, ho, ho," right? Like he does. And he kind of like runs up to you and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing back here?" He kind of like walks up to you, he sniffs your fucking dog cock
Oh, what the
and
Aaron?
your asshole.
All right. Yeah,
You
they
sniff
do
his
that.
too, and you honestly like kind of like it.
I'm a dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I talk
Your
to him?
tail wags uncontrollably. Yeah.
I go,
He goes, I never smelled your parts around here before.
Gregory, this is gonna sound insane, but it's me. It's Pat. I'm a dog now. I ate the beef jerky. I'm a dog.
He laughs. He goes, oh, real funny. He goes, I ain't got time for you. He goes, I gotta help my human.
It's me.
He laughs, just brushing it off. He goes, my friend Pat lost something, and I gotta go get it back.
We ate spaghetti and meatballs the
He,
other night, remember?
he goes, what's spaghetti and meatballs? I'm a dog.
What?
Yeah. He doesn't understand the concept of spaghetti and meatballs. He's a dog.
All right. I mean, fair enough, I
I don't know. I
guess,
don't
but
know how that's hard to understand,
yeah, okay. This is
you know?
the worst. All right.
He goes, I'm going to the dump. You can come with me, or you can sit here licking your nutsack.
What the all right. Yeah, I'll go with you.
You are like licking your nutsack, just like as a dog.
Okay. Well,
Again, out of pure instinct, pure canine instinct. Your rough tongue runs up and down your fucking nutsack.
oh, this is gross.
I mean, you're a dog. What do you're a dog. You're gonna do things dogs do.
I know, but I have the mind of a human, so I find it like do I find this whole
Oh,
thing
so I'm saying it's
unpleasant?
uncontrollable. Oh
Yeah,
no, you love every second of it.
really.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You feel freedom in a way that you never felt as like a human before. Just exposed, genitals to the wind, breeze on your asshole, not a care in the world. So Gregory kind of looks at you and he goes, well, I'm all. And he starts like walking in a direction. You follow him?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I have to learn how to be a dog. And I guess I can trust Gregory.
You follow Gregory, right? You kind of follow him from afar at first, and he goes, don't worry, friend. I ain't gonna bite you. You kind of like run up behind him. You see him kind of like every now and then he steps on one of his ears, his big old floppy ears, right?
I love that.
Yeah. See that he's done it so much that he's like worn like a little part of it off. There's like a little marks where like his claws have gone through so many times.
My gosh.
It's like torn on the edge. It's something that you never really noticed, as like an owner, a pet owner. It's just like you just never looked really. But now that you see it, you recognize that, oh yeah, this dog's been like stepping holes into his ears for the last couple of years. So sometimes he might be a little snippy. So he says, "So tell me, what's your name, friend?"
My name's Patrick.
He goes, "I know a Patrick. He's my best friend."
Oh yeah?
Yup. And you see like a smile come across his dog face. He says, he's the one we're helping out right now.
What does he need help with?
My best friend Patrick lost something that means a lot to him, and I know where it is. I'm going to go get it and bring it back to him.
Hell yeah.
He's my best friend.
I guess I'm not going to be able to convince this guy. If he doesn't know what spaghetti and meatballs are, there's no way I can convince him that I'm me in dog form somehow. So I feel like I just go along with it. I just pretend that I'm just a dog named Patrick and I go with him.
So you guys are walking, right? You're walking west, heading into the setting sun. The last beams of light break through the trees
Wow.
and light the horizon up ahead. Suddenly, for some reason, in a way that you've never felt it before, the hair on the back of your fucking neck stands up. And you kind of look around, you go, what's going on? And Gregory
Yeah.
goes, it's getting dark. The cats are coming now. You're walking through like an empty street, a couple shops on each side. The street lamps aren't as close together when you're the size of a dog. So there are significant spots that are kind of dark, right?
Yeah.
You're walking through, you pass an old pharmacy, Bolton's Pharmacy, serving Virginians since 1913.
I'm in Virginia.
No, you're in Texas, but they only serve Virginians.
How do I guess yeah, I could bring in my birth certificate or whatever to prove that I'm from
No, you just
Virginia.
walk in, they'll know.
That's weird.
They'll know.
Okay.
They have never been wrong once. People have like tried to come in there because honestly, they give some pretty good deals. Um, and they tried to like set up accounts and they're like, "You from Virginia?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they go, and they're people that people are like, "No, no, you're not." And they go, "I have proof." And it's always been like a fake ID or like a fake, birth certificate, something like that, piece of mail. It's been fraudulent. They've never been wrong once.
How is this legal? I feel like that seems bizarre.
It was grandfathered in. There was a time where you could sell to only certain residents within another state, especially a state with a as welcoming of a of an economy as Texas.
Yeah,
They just let it happen and it's been there ever since. Fulton's
whatever.
Pharmacy, serving Virginians since 1913. So either way,
All right, so I guess we go
you
to
guys you guys
Fulton's
are
Pharmacy.
you're passing Fulton's Pharmacy right in the
Yeah.
dead spot between two streetlights, and a cat just comes out of the darkness. All you see is a flash of two yellow eyes and a set of fangs, and it barrels into Gregory, and Gregory goes, "Oh no!" and he tumbles out into the street, right? Barreled into by this cat that's almost as big as he is. This
Oh
cat is
no.
as you can imagine, cat quick, right? It hisses as you see Gregory just kind of hanging onto the edge of the sidewalk, almost ready to tumble into the gutter. What do you do?
I run at that fucking cat.
You run at the cat, you barrel into it. It's got its back to you. You throw your little bowling ball body right into it as hard as you can. It knocks it down into the gutter, takes Gregory with it. Gregory lands on top and strangles the cat to death right there in the gutter. Wraps his hand around
Jeez.
the cat's windpipe. You hear a hiss and then a crack,
Oh my
and then
God.
the cat goes limp. Gregory kind of like gets up, almost dusts himself off in a way, and he goes, "Oh, they're out tonight." And he just starts walking along, right?
I guess, yeah. Whatever.
Uh, Gregory goes, "Get to the inside." And he like moves you to the inside of the sidewalk. So he's on like you're right next to the street and he's next to the businesses alongside.
Mhm.
There's like a fish market coming up. You see like three cats sitting on a stoop, just gnawing on the remnants of today's spoils, the garbage that the fishmonger throws out. These cats like to bring it up from the dumpster and sit on the stoop and harass any passerby. You guys stand in the street lamp underneath the light of it just before the fishmonger, and Gregory stops, and you stop, and he says, "Now I know you all just saw what we did to your friend down there, so you better let us pass." And then he turns and he looks at you and he kind of like gestures for you to say something to the cats. What do you say to the cats?
We're just trying to get home.
The cats kind of look at you. They all sort of like stiffen up a little bit and they kind of like nod and you guys walk through. Gregory, he goes, "Most of them will leave you alone. You only got to hurt one of them."
Wow.
It's called the Gregory tax. Every time Gregory makes a trip to the dump, he kills one cat to keep the other cats from fucking with him. He
Wow.
brutally murders one cat, and that works.
How often is
None of
he
them fuck with him.
how often does he walk through there?
I don't know, twice a week. He's
Wow.
killing multiple cats a week and has been doing so for the last year and a half.
Wow. Who fucking knew?
Honestly, if he weren't, the fucking dump would be overrun, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
He's
it's
sort of an
like,
apex predator in the dump.
yeah, that's weird. I guess it's kind of crazy to think about the secret lives of pets. I think that's a movie.
Yeah, you never really thought
Damn
of
it.
it
Yeah,
before,
it is. Yeah.
even though somebody else clearly has and made a whole feature film about it. Um, you just had this thought for the first time and are amazed. So you're kind of like Gregory's just kind of ho hum, right? He's like walking through.
Yeah.
He kind of
All
like
right.
raises his nose to the ear. He goes, "We're almost there." You're walking along. You get to the edge of the dump, and it is foul. I mean, this it stinks. And I mean, you're a dog, so you have like a heightened sense of smell, and you're just being like hit in the face with this putrid bowling ball of scent, basically. You kind of gag for a second. If you had anything in your stomach, you would have definitely thrown it up. So you're standing there at the base of this mountain of fucking garbage, right? This
Okay.
pile of garbage. Gregory, he's got a big smile on his dog face. He looks up to the top of this mountain and he goes, "There it is, up at the top." And he starts to like climb this mountain of garbage. And you follow him. You follow him. You kind of like, I mean, you're a small dog, so you don't have to have like a ton of stability beneath you. You follow him up this heap of garbage. And there you see it, a box of your collectibles
Holy shit.
poking out underneath a pile of trash. Gregory like reaches at it. He grabs the box with his teeth and sort of like yanks it out. It comes open. And there's that fucking glove, right? There it is, looking at you, and you immediately think of your old man. And you think of the day that he gave it to you,
Yeah.
you know? And how like, how dads are. Like sometimes they, your dad cares, but he may not have the easiest time saying it. So he may do it in different ways, you know?
He did it with a glove.
And you think about it. Yeah. Because one time you went to a baseball game and the Mariners were in town and you got to see Ken Griffey Jr. hit a home run and he
Oh,
stole
cool.
another one out in center field, you know? And you were just like all about Ken Griffey Jr. for like a couple weeks after that. And your dad never forgot, so he got you this glove signed.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's cool to get it back.
And it was just, yeah. Well, so Gregory has it in his mouth and he drops it and he goes, Pat, can't thank you enough for being my companion on this trip.
Yeah.
He goes, but I got what I need and I'm taking it home to my best friend, Pat.
Sweet. I'll walk you back.
So he's got this glove in his mouth. You see, he's biting down on the signature and you're kind of like, ah, shit. He doesn't recognize, he doesn't know. He's a dog. Do you think about asking him to hold it?
No. I let him hold it. I mean, he's a dog. He's gonna try to snap at me if I take it from him. Whatever. I'll just
Yeah,
walk
you
with him.
never know. So you walk with him, right? You guys walk all the way back home. It takes you like an hour and a half. There's like several more cats around.
Do we have to
You
kill
guys go
another
to
one?
enter. Well, so you go to enter like the row again, the row of the where all the fucking shops are.
Hmm.
You see two cats kind of come out from underneath this like porch on this thrift, like it's an old time thrift shop, right? It's like one of those kind of places.
Love it. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Just a little small town thing. And they're each cat is wearing like a leather jacket. And they're kind of like running their fingers along their whiskers and they go, where do you think you're going? And Gregory drops the baseball mitt. He goes, fellas, I came through here once today and I took one of your kin. I don't want to have to do it again. And the two cats are like, you killed one of us today? And he kind of like nods his head and they both attack him, right?
No. All
They
right.
attack him. One of them like, huh?
I'm just kind of like, holy shit.
You kind of see them like two of one attack him. They both like knock him over onto his side. One cat is like clawing at his soft underbelly.
Shit.
You hear him getting kicked and punched. He's going, huh, huh, ouch, ooh, ooh, stop. You know,
Yeah. Okay. I rush in then. I try to help.
you rush in, you just barrel into one of the cats, you knock him over the side of Gregory. Gregory is able to maintain control of the cat that is in front of him. He headbutts the cat unconscious and then rips both of its arms off. And then he
Ooh.
uses the arms to beat the other one to death as you guys were in like a pretty heavy struggle. And
Wow,
he just
Gregory.
murders the one cat with the other one's arms. He walks out into the street lights. He picks the glove up in his mouth, drops it down in the street light, and he goes, hey guys, it's me again. Thought thought you'd learn by now. And he holds up the two arms. He goes, didn't want to have to do that. He goes, I'm coming through.
I think I
He
shout
picks up the
something.
glove.
I think I'm like his hype man at this point a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go,
What do you say?
I yell, you saw what we can do. Fuck you.
You say, fuck you.
Yeah.
And Gregory turns and he looks at you and he drops the glove out of his mouth. He goes, we don't antagonize, Pat.
Okay. No. All right.
And you see like a tear. You see him like reach down and he picks up the glove and he takes off. And you're like, what? And then you're surrounded by a bunch of cats and they claw you to death right
Oh
there in the
no.
middle of the streetlight. Once they you're clawed to death by like 3 dozen cats, it
Shit.
takes like so long. They basically
Why?
flay you alive right there because they're
Oh,
just like ripping your skin off in chunks. It's incredibly painful, but there's like they're not doing
chunks.
like a ton of damage. Chunks. And if they just rip your flesh off, like your first layer of flesh, and then
Man.
as soon as as soon as like you really start to lose a lot of blood, you
Yeah.
revert back into pat form and you're nude. You die and they scrape you're the flesh off of your nude body right there. And just
Oh.
before you die, you hear the sound of an authentic leather glove falling to a pavement, and then just a voice yelling, "Ah," and you fucking die.
Oh no. No. Oh man. God
Yeah,
damn it.
Gregory saw you,
I'm sorry,
and
Gregory.
he lost his best friend in that moment.
Ah, sorry, Gregory.
You got clawed to death by cats
That sucks. God damn.
under like a street lamp, so your nude, clawed up body is visible for
Oh,
everyone to see,
so that
even in the night.
yeah, I forgot. So like, who finds me?
And I mean, the city finds your body the next morning, but the cats pick you clean. They spend most of the night just eating your entire body, anything that was edible, and a lot of stuff that wasn't. You had 65 cents in your stomach and change. You had just swallowed it a couple of weeks before and hadn't passed it. It was just like stuck in there.
I had
They did
65.
not eat that.
Why did
Yeah.
I swallow 65 cents? What for?
It was just an accident. You were
It
talking
it
about the
doesn't.
Ricola.
Yeah,
You were talking about the Ricola commercials at the Valve one night, and you were like Ricola,
doesn't
and
matter.
somebody tripped and they hit their their like check receipt with their change on it. It was 65 cents and it flew through the air and you were making the Ricola horn noise and it went right down your fucking mouth and into your stomach and it had been there for like 2 weeks. So they found your bones picked clean of flesh and 65 cents under the street light the next morning. The animal control officer just stood in the middle of the street and he screamed. And then just a chorus of meows.